Well, so good morning, friends. We are taking up today a new product called Pet Buddy Insurance Policy. Pet Buddy Insurance Policy introduced by SGI in the month of May only, and this is the latest product which is in your hands now. See, why we need a buddy insurance? For a lot of us, our pets are like our family. We do everything we can do to take care of them. We ensure that our pets are well fed, well trained, get up enough of the space to run and be fit, and of course get showered with love and attention also. So these pet buddies are taken in the circle of protection through this policy. Let us see what this policy is. So, Mr. Jatin, you are not on mute. Please mute yourself. Yes. Sharing with you. Let's see this new product. So this is Pet Buddy Insurance. Pet insurance is a type of insurance policy especially customized to cover for veterinary expenses of your cat or dog or any other pet. So it helps to cater your financial losses which may arise due to your pet's bad health, due to accident or illness. So mainly we cover the dogs only under this policy and bad health due to accident or illness. This is the latest policy because the life and the journey of parenting a pet can be full of uncertainties. Pets are taken care of like a baby. So this pet insurance is to cater financial burden which may arise due to pet's bad health days. If it is to be treated due to an accident or specific illness. So this policy can be taken by any individual named in the schedule, means anybody whoever is having or owning a pet and would like to have protection against various expenses. These expenses may be incurred in order to treat the covered pet dog in the event of accident or illness. So the policy can be taken by any dog owner or any person who is having the pet buddy in his house. The most important part is what is the coverage of the policy? Because for a dog, accident or illness may result into many things. And in our policy, we provide 10 sections. And these sections are all important. Let's see: surgery and hospitalization cover, OPD cover, terminal disease, long-term care, mortality benefit, funeral expenses, lost and stolen cover, advertisement and reward, third-party liability, and emergency pet care allowance. These 10 sections are most important and these are all included under our policy. Normally, you will not find all these sections in the policy of other companies because normally 5-6 benefits are included. But these 10 benefits or 10 categories from the point of coverage is a big one. So the policy has become quite useful for the pet owners. Let's see what these 10 categories are and how they will provide the coverage. So first one is surgery and hospitalization cover. Under this category, Company will indemnify the insured for surgical or hospitalization expenses for treatment of insured pet as an inpatient. Sum insured of the section is minimum 10,000 and maximum rupees 1,50,000. In these steps of 10,000 per steps. So it begins from 10,000 to 1,50,000. Surgery and hospitalization cover in case of surgical or hospitalization expenses for treatment of the pet. Good benefit coverage under this category is there. Second one is rather wider. Surgery and hospitalization cover under the same category will include the following thing also. The first one is only. What these coverage will provide? Veterinarian vet fees, maximum 3% of the sum insured or 3,000 per claim. Diagnosis test, X-ray, blood, vessel test, pathology, brain, MRIs, CT scan, ultrasound, etc. Third, medicines, drugs and consumables. Fourth, surgical procedures, including OT, surgeons and anesthesia, fees up to maximum of 50% of the sum insured of the section, that is up to 50,000 for each claim. Fifth, prosthetics and other devices or equipment if implanted internally during surgical procedure. Sixth, intensive care unit charges up to maximum of 4% of sum insured of the section up to rupees 5,000 each claim. Seventh, room charges or boarding charges up to maximum of 2% of the sum insured of the section up to 3,000 rupees per day. Pre and post hospitalization are covered for 15 days, means the treatment starts as 15 days before hospitalization and will continue further 15 days after hospitalization. Co-pay age up to 7 years, 10%. Co-pay means insured has to be at 10% for the pet which is having the age up to 7 years. And age above 7 years, 25%. So this is on co-pay basis. This section, first surgery and hospitalization cover, will provide expenses under 7 heads, that is veterinarian fee, diagnosis test, medicines, drugs and consumables, surgical procedure, prosthetics and other devices, intensive care unit and boarding charges. All these are related to the pet's illness or sickness or surgery or hospitalization are covered under the policy. Not only this, pre-hospitalization expenses before 15 days are also covered. Post-hospitalization expenses after hospitalization for 15 days are also covered. But the insured has to bear only 10% copay if the dog is up to 7 years and 25% copay if the dog is over 7 years. So this is a very broad section and very good category of benefits are there under the section first. Coming to section 2. This is outpatient department, that is OPD care. Now this section includes up to 25% of sum insured of section 1, subject to maximum of the amount of rupees 30,000 for the following illnesses. And the 25 illnesses are covered for OPD care. Listen again. 25 named illnesses related to dogs are covered under outpatient department care section 2 of the policy. If I am repeating all these diseases, you may not understand because they are terminology, medical terminology. Vets are frequently using this name of diseases. We may or may not understand because those who are taking care of pets or have their pets or owning the pets, they may have come across such a situation. But all these 25 sicknesses or illnesses are covered under our section 2, that is outpatient department OPD care. Here in this section, fee 500 for each claim, co-pay 10% of the claim amount, minimum of rupees 1000 on each claim. This co-pay is different for section 2. For section 1, co-pay is different, that is 10% up to the age of dogs of 7 years, and after 7 years 25%. So this difference you have to understand. Co-pays according to particular sections. If the claim is coming under section 2, that is for OPD care, co-pay will be applicable 10%, and that would be minimum amount of 1000. This is something like compulsory access, or you can say the insured will be at this cost. And fee 500 each claim will be covered. 25 illnesses are covered. Up to 25% of the sum insured of section 1, subject to maximum of rupees 30,000, will be covered. These two broad sections provide the very wide coverage for the care of dog. Section 3, terminal illness. Now this section says, company will pay the insured the lump sum amount if the insured pet is diagnosed as suffering from any of the terminal disease mentioned below. These are the terminal diseases. Survival period required is 30 days. That means the day the dog is diagnosed with any of the following diseases, the dog should survive for minimum 30 days, then only this claim will be paid. So what are the diseases? All type of cancer, renal kidney failure, coagulation disorders, cardiac dysfunctions, distemper, leptospirosis, hepatitis, and liver failure. This cover cease for the lifetime once claimed under this policy. This terminal section says, if for any of the following diseases the claim is made, or the insured dog is found diagnosed with any of the following diseases, if he survived for minimum 30 days, the claim will be paid, and this cover of terminal illnesses will be ceased. So this is section 3. Let's come to section 4. Long-term care cover. Long-term care means company will pay the insured the lump sum amount of 50% of the sum insured to maximum of 25,000 if the insured pet is diagnosed as suffering from these diseases. These are long-term diseases: epilepsy, pancreatitis, Cushing syndrome, diabetes, thyroid dysfunction, ascites, glaucoma, inflammatory bowel disease. So this cover also ceases for the lifetime once claimed under this policy. Lifetime means once a claim is paid for any of these diseases, this dog will not give even this policy for further years. So these are long-term diseases. Long-term care is there required, and the maximum sum insured, that is lump sum, 50% of the sum insured subject to maximum 25,000, is paid. So this is section 4, long-term care cover. Section 5, mortality cover. This is different now. Under this Act, company shall pay the insured the lump sum amount if pet dog dies due to accident or illness, or veterinary doctor putting insured to put to sleep in order to alleviate its incurable and inhumane suffering due to an illness or accident. if the dog is suffering from a disease which is intolerable, incurable, inhuman. In such a case, what a doctor will advise, let's forget it. This is a kind of illness that once the dog has suffered this illness, then he is not fit for keeping in the home. So death is caused by any disease mentioned in section 4. Sum insured payable under this section will not be more than balance sum insured. Waiting period for this section is 30 days. So this is mortality cover, wherein if the pet dies due to accident or illness, or as per the advice of veterinary doctor, then only the claim is paid. Section 4 diseases says, these section 4 diseases, that long-term care, and these diseases, if the dog has suffered, in that case maximum 25,000 was payable, and the remaining amount of the sum insured is payable under the 5th section mortality cover, will not be more than the balance sum insured. Waiting period here is 30 days. 6th is funeral expenses cover. Under this section, company shall pay 1% of the sum insured, subject to maximum of 1,000 for costs incurred towards burial or electrical cremation. This is only related to the funeral expenses. Limit is 1% of the sum insured, or maximum 1,000 for the purpose of burial or electric cremation. So this is applicable only in case of death of the pet. Section 7, lost and stolen cover. Lost or stolen. These are the routine things like happening with the pets. Because normally, if there is no proper care is taken, no control over the dog is there, no proper maintenance of the pet is there, or because of any reason if the pet has been stolen, in that case, company will pay the sum insured in the event that the insured pet is permanently lost or stolen for at least 90 continuous days, provided the loss occurs during the policy period. Means during the policy period, if the pet is lost or stolen and there is no whereabouts for further 90 days, in that case it will be treated as the pet has been stolen or lost, so the company will pay the sum insured. Sum insured means whatever sum insured is opted by the insured for his pet. The special exclusions or conditions are: any claim made after 120 days, means after 4 months, from the date the insured pet was lost or stolen, the claim will not be paid, because within 120 days the claim has to be intimated. Within 24 hours, reported the loss to the police, and the loss is stolen or lost. Within 24 hours, the intimation has to be given to the police, or intimate the company within 24 hours from the event of loss. If out of these three anything is violated, that would be exclusion of the policy and the company will not pay the claim. I repeat, if the dog or the pet which is insured under the policy is lost or stolen by any reason, company will pay the sum insured. Company will wait for 90 days. After 90 days, if it is confirmed that the pet is not recovered, not found, it has been finally stolen, company will pay the sum insured under this cover, provided the claim is made within 120 days. Within 24 hours, the police is intimated, and within 24 hours, the insurance company is intimated. So these three warranties are very special. Violation of any of these conditions will reject the claim, because in that case the claim will be treated as under the exclusion. Next, advertisement and reward cover. Advertisement and reward. Under this ad, the company will pay up to 5% of the pet valuation in the event that the insured pet is lost or stolen for at least 5 continuous days. 5 continuous days. That means insured will make some efforts. What efforts? Advertisement is permitted in the insured's locality and has received the written approval of the company prior to advertising and for offering a reward for the recovery of the insured pet that will be paid by the company. How much? The company will pay up to 5% of the pet valuation in the event that the insured pet is lost or stolen. And the insured is making some efforts like advertisements after 5 days. The cover is available if you opted section 7, that is lost or stolen. So 7 or 8 are clubbed together, because if the pet is lost, then only the advertisement is required. Then only the reward has to be declared, but the insured has to wait for 5 days or at least 5 continuous days. If it is not found, not recovered, then the insured can go for advertisements with the permission of the company. For that, the company will pay 5% of the pet valuation. And the cover is available if you opted section 7 also, that is lost or stolen coverage. Next, section 9. Third party liability cover. This is the most important cover. Because of this reason only, there are cases before the court of law. Dog is an animal. Sometimes you follow the instruction of the owner, sometimes you not. Because the animals are controllable provided they are well trained. But it depends upon their nature. So the company in this case, when the third party liability is there, indemnify the insured for the legal expenses and costs incurred by him for defending the claims lodged against him up to the sum insured as opted by the insured or shown on the policy schedule against this section. Means, suppose the policy is taken for 1 lakh, the sum insured is 1 lakh. So in case of third party liability, insurance company's liability is 1 lakh rupees. Maybe the court has ordered for 2 lakh rupees or 3 lakh rupees. Insurance company will pay the sum insured. Maximum liability is sum insured. Because normally when the dog is biting anyone or causing any bodily injury to any person, they'll definitely go for claiming the compensation from the owner of the dog. If he is not giving, they'll file the suit before the court of law. And court of law is giving the award in such cases. Maybe millions of rupees. Because dog biting may result even up to death. This is not the case that the treatment is not there. Earlier there were provision of 12 injections. Now maybe perhaps 3 or 1 injection is sufficient. Maybe very costly they are. Treatment is there. Curable is there. The disease is curable. But still, people are filing the cases before court of law and they are getting the compensation in such a cases. So we are also providing this section in our policy and we restrict the liability under this section to the sum insured, maximum, up to the sum insured, as opted by the insured, because sum insured is always opted by the sum insured. Here the difference would be the award amount may be higher or lower. If it is lower, the awarded amount will be paid. If it is higher, maximum sum insured. Next, section 10. Emergency pet care allowance. This is the last section. Emergency pet care allowance. What is covered under this section? Company will pay a daily allowance of rupees 1,000 per day up to a maximum of 4 days towards the cost incurred towards engaging a pet caretaker. If the pet owner has engaged a pet caretaker, in that case company will pay a daily allowance of 1000 rupees per day up to maximum of 4 days toward the cost incurred for engaging a pet caretaker. If insured or a member of the insured family is required to be hospitalized for more than 4 continuous days on the medical advice of a medical practitioner. This is the condition. Not in case of keeping the pet caretaker. If the insured or a member of the insured family is required to be hospitalized for more than 4 continuous days on the medical advice of a medical practitioner, in that case, emergency pet care allowance will be paid by the company. In that allowance, a daily allowance of 1000 rupees per day, that would be for maximum 4 days toward the cost incurred for engaging a pet caretaker. This is in case of emergency. So these 10 sections are there, but policy is for dog owners only. If any other animal like a sheep, cat, cow, etc. are there, for none of them is covered under this policy. Person owns a pet, and pet means dog only, and would like to have protection against various expenses that may be incurred in order to treat the covered pet dog in the event of any accident or illness are covered only under this policy. Now, how the pet eligibility will be decided? First of all, breeds. Giant breed, small, medium and large breeds, all are covered. But for giant breed, entry age is 3 months to 4 years, or exit age is 7 years. Means after 7 years, the company will not give the policy for giant breed. For others like small, medium and large, entry age is 3 to 7 years. Policy can continue up to 10 years. After that, the policy will not be issued. Here the mandatory condition is insured has to select any 2 sections, whereas section 1 is mandatory. I repeat, this is most important. Policy is having 10 sections. This is the wider coverage provided under the policy. But the insured has to select any 2 sections, whereas section 1 is mandatory. Minimum. Otherwise, you can select even all 10. Sections 7 and 8 should be selected together. Why? Because section 7 relates to lost and restored cover. 8 relates to advertisement and reward cover. So advertisement reward will only be given only in case if the dog has been lost or stolen. Otherwise, the section 8 has no utility. So section 7 or 8 will be taken together. Insurer is required to take minimum 2 sections. Out of that, section 1 is mandatory. This is the eligibility. Now for this eligibility, you have seen 10 sections. Surgery and hospitalization. Sum insured would be for that section minimum 10,000 and maximum 1.5 lakh. In a step of 10,000. Section 2 OPD cover 25% of the sum insured of section 1 subject to maximum 30,000. Section 3 terminal diseases. The sum insured is and the health evaluation comparison certificate issued by a veterinary doctor or as decided by the company at its sole discretion. This would be the sum insured of this section. Terminal diseases. This is for deciding the sum insured of each section. Section 4, long-term care. How much sum insured can an insured take? Under section 4, that is long-term key, insured can opt for 50% of the PAT valuation, subject to maximum of 25,000. Yes. Please. Thank you. So section 4, 50% of the valuation subject to maximum 25,000 or as decided by the company would be the sum insured of this section. Section 5th, that is mortality benefit. The sum insured stated in the health evaluation cum valuation certificate will be issued by a veterinary doctor. Normally, veterinary doctors are issuing the valuation certificate. On that basis, the sum insured of various sections can be obtained. And veterinary doctors are giving these certificates for this purpose only. As decided by otherwise, the sum insured can be reduced or increased by the insurance company as per the condition of the dog. Section 8, advertisement and reward, up to 5% of the PAT valuation certificate or as decided by the company at its sole discretion. Normally 5% of the PAT valuation certificate is taken for advertisement and reward because the coverage is that much only. Third party liability, 1 lakh to 10 lakhs in multiple of 1 lakh. 1 lakh to 10 lakhs in multiple of 1 lakh. This section can be selected by the insured. For third party liability limit purposes, the option is given up to 10 lakh. The sum insured can be taken. Emergency PAT care, daily allowance of rupees 1,000 per day up to a maximum of 4 days. Up to a maximum of 4 days. So that way the sum insured will be decided. But the rating of the policy for all these 10 sections would be according to the breed, and that breed is mentioned here. Chart is designed and developed in the manner of all the 4 breeds like small, medium, large or giant. Small, medium, large or giant according to age up to 10 years maximum, and the rating would be section wise. For each section, premium rate is given, that would be multiplied with the sum insured. This rate is in per mille, that means per thousand. So you are aware, minimum 2 sections are required, and out of that section 1 is mandatory. So whatever is the size of the dog, it may be small, large or giant or medium, veterinary doctor will certify it. Under that category only the premium rate will be applicable. If at all the customer is selecting all the 10 sections, no issue, he can take according to the category of the pet. Say suppose pet belongs to giant category. Dog is of 5 years. Insured want all the 10 sections. So the premium rate applicable in the last column, 4 to 7 years, giant. These rates section wise will multiply the sum insured of each sections. So the calculation purpose is simple because the rates you need not to search anywhere. The chart is providing you the complete rate. You only have to multiply with the sum insured of each section. And these rates are applicable per thousand. Direct discount is 15% on the total premium. So premium rates are given and the sum insured of each section. The limit of that is given. Normally, customer will not buy the policy for 10 sections or the 10 sections. Maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 as per the choice. But policy is available. If the customer wants all the 10 sections, he can be given. This is not the pilot policy, this is the complete policy. But this policy has the facility to customize as per the choice of the insured. Feasibility of selection of sections is there. Customer can ignore even 8 sections of the policy, or customer can select even 8 or 9 or 10 sections of the policy. In any case, if he is taking more than 2 sections, or if he wants section 7 also, in that case 7 and 8 section will come together, because neither this section 8 can be given alone or nor this section 7 can be given together. 7 or 8 will come together. First will be mandatory. Rest is the choice of the insured. The manner he wants, he can take. Policy does not provide more than 10 sections, but out of 10, the customer has the feasibility. Section 1 is mandatory because the most required expenses of surgery and hospitalization are covered under this. This section is in a step of 10,000. So the customer can exercise his option. And now, insured has to select any 2 sections, whereas section 1 is mandatory. Sections 7 and 8 should be selected together. Payout, which is most important for you, is 25%. This is already decided and declared. Product PPT, policy wordings, proposal forms, already sent to the entire team. If not sent, you can ask from Tilak sir. If he has also not got, then we will provide it. The product is live on Nova CBS, and branches can issue policy through their end. The product is live on Nova CBS, and branches can issue policy through their end. Now, one thing you must be thinking, that the sum insured for section 1 is only minimum 10,000 and maximum 1.5 lakh, which is in the step of 10,000 only. Third party liability, we are saying 1 lakh to 10 lakh in multiple of 1 lakh rupees. So how is it possible to pay the 10 lakh rupees, because the maximum liability is restricted to sum insured? But here, this option is given. Maybe the policy is taken for 1 lakh or 1.5 lakh. If the insured want the higher coverage of third party liability, say for 5 lakh or 10 lakh rupees, because in that particular area code may be awarding the higher amount in case of third party liability. If my dog has bitten 2%, 3%, or any 1% even, he has filed the claim before the court of law. Court has issued the order of 4 lakh rupees. Obviously, I may select 5 lakh rupees as the third party liability. In that case, because I have opted for 5 lakh, I have paid the premium for 5 lakh rupees, the company will be responsible for the coverage of 5 lakh rupees. Maybe my sum insured of the policy under section 1 is 1 lakh rupees. Here, the difference will be, because the company is providing third party liability coverage up to 10 lakh, in the multiples of 1 lakh, insured is at the liberty to choose the coverage and pay the higher premium to avoid any further legal litigation or complexion, because pet dog is just for your hobby or as a member of your family. But because of that, if any third party liabilities arises. Because of that, any person is disabled or died, you would never prefer to do it. You will definitely choose to pay the compensation. If you have taken the policy, that compensation would not be out of your pocket, because in that case, insurance company will pay that and will save you from that liability. Because maximum 2-3 things are common in the society with the pet dog owners. They are incurring the maximum expenses on the surgery and hospitalization of the dog itself. Or in case the dog is lost, they are incurring the expenses on the advertisement and reward. And the most common thing, third, is third party liability. Here, the highest amount has to be paid if such a situation is arises. So despite of having the 10 sections, this is not mandatory that every customer has to select all the 10 sections. Only section 1 is mandatory. Rest are as per the choice of the customer, because the premium applicable is according to sections opted by the insured. Premium applicable is in 1000, means rate is applicable is in thousands. But premium would be according to the breed of the dog. That breed could be small, medium, large or giant. According to the certificate of the veterinary doctor, the category will be decided, and after deciding that category, the benefits opted by the insured will be decided, and after deciding those sections, the sum insured of each section will be decided, and on that sum insured of each section, this premium rate given in this chart for the respective sections will be multiplied. That will be the premium of policy. Once it is worked out, you can provide direct discount of 50%, 15% on this. So according to the pet eligibility, exit age is 7 years for giants and 10 years for the small, medium and large. Means the company will not provide the policy for giant dog in 8th or 9th year of his age, maybe male or female. But in case of a small, medium and large breed of the dog, company can continue the policy or provide a fresh policy up to the age of 10 years, because that is the exit age. And here they start from the 3 months only. A little pet can be insured, maybe up 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, that can be insured. Value can be opted by the owner of the pet. He can select section 1 and compulsory. He can select all the sections. For 7 and 8 sections he will go together and can take this policy simultaneously. Now again, if you want to understand, this section 1 is providing the biggest coverage if you compete this section with other policies of other insurance, because here the veterinary fee, diagnosis test, medicines for drugs and consumables, surgical procedure, prosthetics and other devices, intensive care unit and room charges are paid in case of surgery and hospitalization. Simultaneously, pre-hospitalization charges for 15 days, post-hospitalization charges for 15 days are also paid. Co-pay is there, that is 10% up to 7 years and 25% if the dog is more than 7 years. A big benefit is given under the section 2, where the 25 more common diseases relating to the dogs are covered. And these 25 diseases are almost all which are normal or a common feature with the dogs. We are not the person to diagnose them. We are not the person to say this is the dog is suffering from this and this disease. Veterinary doctor will certify it. Veterinary doctor will cure him, and the OPD care will be provided. For that OPD care, company will provide 25% of the sum insured of the section 1, subject to the maximum of the 30,000 rupees. If the dog is undergone for treatment, OPD treatment, for any of these 25 diseases. Even vet fee is payable to 500. So this is a good policy. Good coverage is there for the pets. You can sell this policy. If you have any questions related to the policy, you can ask. Any questions? Policy is new, introduced only in this month. Mail is sent to everyone. Policy can be issued by the branch. No need to take the approval of underwriters. But the only thing is required, along with the proposal form, Jatin, are you telling something? So the only thing is, when the proposal you are submitting, along with that proposal, a photo or a video of that dog is required. Because that would be the only identification. Otherwise, for insurance company, it would be difficult that at the time of insurance, you are having a different dog. At the time of claim, you may have a different dog. So that would be critical to find out. The only thing the insurance company will do for identification of the dog is, along with the proposal, a photograph or a video of the dog will be taken, which will identify. Normally in cattle insurances, you will find cattle are tagged by the insurance companies. A metal tag or a plastic tag is put in the ear of the cattle. There that tag is also bearing a number, and that is the identity number. But with the dogs, all these things are not done. Medically, if you say nose of a dog, nose print of a dog is the identification which the agencies are using. But we will not go for that. We will go for only the photographs or a video of the dog, which would be sufficient identity, along with the detail filled in the proposal form. Because the detail is also having the questions related to the size, age, color, etc. These are also mentioned in the proposal form. Proposal is simple, policy is also simple, we have seen. And this is good policy, sellable policy. Any doubts, any questions?